Good morning, fam. How are you today? I know you're busy. I'll take that as I'm good. Well, today I'm going to bring to you some things that Yah placed on my heart to speak to you about in my life experiences. And in order to do this, I need to take you back, way back, when I was a young boy. You see, I never knew my dad. I only saw him 3 times in my life. And the last time I saw him was to bury him. And the lesson that I want to teach today is twofold. The first lesson is what a child goes through, not knowing his dad. And the second part is about his mother only seeing his dad in him. Make no mistake, this is not a pity party or feel sorry for me type message. I believe that Yah has me telling this story so that someone can be helped, so that a mother may look at her son differently, and her son can look at his dad differently. Now I can give my mother the utmost respect because she never ever kept me away from my dad's side of the family. And this created a bond so that at least I could know where I came from. But I was too afraid to ask questions about my dad because I did not want to trigger her in any way by asking what my dad was like. Only us young men that look like our dads know exactly what I'm talking about. You see, we lived our lives in constant fear of our mothers looking at us in the same light that they looked at our dads. You want to talk about pressure? We were under pressure. I never knew when I was going to do something or say something that reminded her of him. But there was one thing I did know, and that is when she said, "You're just like your dad," I was in big trouble, and I knew it. I didn't really understand what it was that was so wrong with him that it had to affect me. I would tell my mother that I am not him. Whatever he did to you, I didn't do to you. I could see in her face that she no longer saw me, her son, but she saw him. And the rage that she would express toward me was scary. You see, as a young child, I had to learn my mother. I had to know when these times were coming. And I became so good at reading her that I knew when to leave the room would try to hide and be out of sight. You see, I was hoping that old saying, out of sight, out of mind, would work. But let me be the one to tell you that it didn't work. And what I want you mothers to understand, I don't believe that you do this intentionally. I believe it's something spiritual in nature. Because the enemy wants to destroy your sons. And what better person to do it than the one that's closest to him? You see, the trick of Satan is to try to make us young boys and young men feel as though we're worthless because it was said that our dads were no good. So therefore, we look like them. We're going to be no good as well. You don't understand, mothers, what this says to your sons. It tells them that their life is worthless and that you would be happier without them in it. And this is the trick of the enemy. You see, what my mother didn't understand is that everything that she wanted to take away from me, being like my dad, it would take away the very thing that I needed to be a man. And that's something that she wouldn't even want in a man. Let me give you an example, because I want to be clear and concise in what I'm saying. My mother would not allow me to fight. Under no circumstances was I allowed to protect myself. So when the bullies would come, I was more afraid of my mother than I was of taking a punch. I would try to explain to my mother what was going on, but she told me, "You're not going to be like your dad. All he does is fight. He's always looking for a fight." You see, you don't understand why I was so afraid of my mother. She never promised me a whooping that I did not get, period. And when I was very young, she would keep me inside, and I would be away from the other little children, so I didn't learn how to play with others until later in life. I don't believe that she realized at the time that she was raising me like a girl, but I was a boy, 100% boy. Needless to say, I got a lot of whoopings. Somehow, even then I knew that intentionally or unintentionally, she was trying to break me and mold me to be what it was she felt a man was. But that was not going to work, as she would find out. Whoever said that it takes a man to raise a man knew what they were talking about. I just wanted to educate you mothers out there. I'm not saying that you're bad. All I'm saying is you need to understand what you're doing to your sons, and they will have ramifications for years to come. For some, it will last their lifetime. And to you young men out there who have gone through this trauma and know what I'm talking about, you hold your head up high and know that just because you look like him, you walk like him, you talk like him, you are not him. And I want to let you young men know that there's a way. There's someone who loves you. There's someone who died for you. There's someone who will be there for you. No matter what the world says, he will always be there for you. Yahuwah, Yeshua will be there for you. And I'm praying for you mothers. And I'm praying for you sons. That Yah will open your eyes and open your mind and open your hearts so that you can see what the enemy is trying to do and how he's trying to destroy you. Well, at this point, my friends, this is the end of the lesson. I ask you to like, subscribe, and share this video. See you again next week.